Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3000 Songs of the Rock Era. Today I'm up to song number 2327, and that one is I'll Be Around by the Spinners. This came out in 1972. Here's a picture of the single. Um, and it was also released on their 1973 album just titled Spinners. And here's a picture of the Spinners around the time they recorded it. Pretty big Detroit group in the 60s and 70s. I'll get into them later, but first I'm going to feature a sample of the song I'll Be Around and react to it. So here it goes.
This is our road. Love's last episode. There's nowhere to go. Oh no, you made your choice. Now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Okay, that's the first verse of I'll Be Around by the Spinners. I think it's a good, catchy tune, and it's a song about heartbreak, but I guess it's got a little bit of a hopeful note to it. I mean, basically he's saying this: we're at our fork in our road. You've decided you want to leave. I guess I got to move on, but I just want you to know that I'll be around in case you need me. I'm not giving up on you in case you change your mind, basically. So he has a good heart, which is basically, and it's a good song. And I'm sure this kind of situation has arisen a lot. So good kind of hopeful message in the wake of heartbreak. Um, and I guess that's enough said about the song "I'll Be Around." Now I guess I should talk a little bit about the group, the Spinners. I already featured one of their songs. It was kind of early on my list. I featured their medley of Cupid and I've Loved You for a Long Time. That was number 2916. That one actually came out, I think, in 1981. It was one of their later hits. And it was a good, catchy tune. I really liked that one. They had a couple medleys. They also had a medley of Working My Way Back to You and Forgive Me Girl the previous year, which is coming up quite a bit higher on my list. I got several more songs coming up by the Spinners. Had a lot of hits, a lot of big hits, including this one. And not too much else to say about them. They were a Motown group. They were also known as the Detroit Spinners and the Motown Spinners. I think in England they're known as the Detroit Spinners, and I think they also go by the name of the Motown Spinners. And a really good group, I think. Oh yeah, one more thing I guess I have to say about this song, "I'll Be Around." It was a rare B-side single that outperformed the corresponding A-side. I can only think of a couple other 45s like that. So "I'll Be Around" went all the way to number three. It was a pretty big hit. But the flip side, the A-side, which was supposed to be the hit, that only went to number 77. That was How Could I Let You Get Away? I'm not even sure if I know that song. I can only think of a couple other, maybe you guys can fill me in on some of these, but the only two other examples I know actually featured one just a few days ago. Turns out that Bird Dog by the Everly Brothers, that was another B-side single that outperformed its A-side. Depending on the chart you followed, Bird Dog either went to number one or number two. On Billboard, it was number two. But then flips the A side was Devoted to You. That only went to number 10. And the only other example I know of is The Wanderer by Dion. That was a B side hit that went all the way to number two in 1961. That one's coming out much, much higher on my list, by the way. I'm not going to say how high. But the flip side was a pretty obscure song, the A side, which was supposed to be the hit. It was called The Majestic. and that only went to number 36. So go figure. I mean, this happens every now and then. Usually, I guess most groups kind of know what side's going to be a hit, and they kind of, promote that side, the A side. But sometimes the A sides don't do well. When people start listening to B sides, that's happened. And, there are rare times it's happened. I guess it happened for this record, too. So anyway, enough of that. And I guess that's pretty much everything I have to say about this. I'll be around by the spinners. So thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next. Bye.